We're capable of doing so much if we only try. Something like building our own home can be such a scary idea, but what might happen if you just gave it a go? Maybe something like this next beautiful story from France.
Hi, my name is Manon. We are here in the west side of France, and behind me is my tiny house, which I built by myself. I live here with my 2 cats and sometimes my boyfriend. Since I was 18, I moved around a lot, first for my studies and then because I loved it. I never spent more than 1 year in the same place in the last 15 years. I was starting to need somewhere to call my home, but I didn't know where, so I decided to have a nomadic home. I bought a van, which I set up by myself, and I lived in it for 2 years. But I needed more comfort, especially in the winter. That's why I chose to live in a tiny house. I have been working as a cabinet maker for 10 years, so I was already familiar with woodworking. So it was natural for me to choose to build a wooden frame house on wheels. The most difficult thing for me was to find a shed to rent, but luckily I have found this place. The land here belongs to a tiny house makers company, and they rent workshop for self-builders. I built my tiny house in the shed behind us. It took me 9 months to build it. I had to learn to make plumbing, electricity, roofing, everything. But it was easier for me because I already had the vocabulary of construction and I received some help. If I had any questions, professionals were at literally 20 steps away. I really enjoy this place because there is several tiny houses all around. The mood is very friendly and the view is amazing, so I'm really happy to be here. For the exterior design, I didn't want something too simple like a rectangle. I wanted different shapes. That's why I decided to have different cladding, vertically and horizontally, and different heights. I think that a destructured shape gives an impression of bigger volume because the eye can focus on different parts. My tiny house is 6 meters long, 2.5 meters wide, and 4.3 meters high. I am grid connected, but I mostly use solar panels. Okay, let's take a look inside. Welcome inside. Before beginning the construction, I spent almost 6 months to dream about it, to draw, to erase, to redraw, looking for inspiration. My goal was to have a feeling of spaciousness, to have a lot of views to outside, to have a huge living room to receive some friends for drinks or for board games. And most important, to have a huge library with all my books. I didn't want any modular or foldable furniture. I really wanted to have everything at hand at any time. I know myself and I know if I have to unfold something to get it, it will stay in the middle of the room and take much more space than if I made it fixed. Most of the material are second-hand. For example, the windows, I have found them in a second-hand shop. That's why they are all mismatched. There is wood, there is PVC, there is aluminium. And I designed the tiny house according to the windows I have found. I think it's better to have old plastic materials than new sustainable wood because it's like garbage I can value. Most of my furniture are second-hand too, like my desk, my coffee table, my stove table, which was a sewing machine that I modified, and my flooring, my paneling, all that are second-hand. The living room is really my favorite place in the house. It's where I spend most of my time. Here I usually read a book on my couch or I can do yoga. I also play a lot of board games with my friends or my boyfriend here. I chose to have a bay window instead of the entrance door because I wanted to have the biggest view possible from the couch. I started to have a minimalist lifestyle a few years ago when I was in my van, so I already got rid of all the things I don't need. The only thing I can't live without are my books. I feel safe when they are near me. I love them, they make me feel at home. The couch is convertible to a double bed, and there is some storage in it. I can store some foldable stools, and we can be up to 8 people around the table. I don't need a dinner table. I usually eat on my knees, and if one day I need, I have my desk. What is really convenient is that I have a huge drawer on the desk to put my administrative paper. I removed the armrest of the couch so I can sit on the side, and I usually sit here to work. Next, over here is the kitchen. To separate the living room and the kitchen, I made a wooden screen and hanging shelves. It's a classical kitchen. The gas cooker is designed for camper van. It's smaller than standard one, so it allows me to save some space. I have all the spices above the cooker, so it's really convenient. I have everything I need at hand. I made a macrame hammock for the vegetables to save place on the work plan and to be sure that they can chill as well. The fridge is also a second hand, and when people are coming for the first time, they always speak about my fridge, and what is funny is that it's almost the only thing I didn't make by myself here. I have been a vegetarian for the past 17 years, and now I'm vegan. It makes me very happy, and I am so much more in line with my values. With the tiny house lifestyle, I have much more time than before, and I am so happy that I have the time to learn to cook. On the other side is my dressing room and the storage area. I wanted to have my dressing room downstairs because it saved some space on my bedroom. Access to the solar kit is behind the drawers. They look like regular drawers, but half of the depth is used for solar kit. Under the stairs is the cat's place. They have their own entrance and doormats, which is quite useful for the rainy days. I chose to have a staircase and then a work plan and then a ladder in order to have more space when I cook. So it's quite useful because I can cook on both sides. The two windows are face to face, so I can have crossing lights, and it makes me feel that the room is bigger. Then behind me is the bathroom. I chose an angle shower and an angle worktop because I think the room looks bigger that way. I made the shower paneling with the end of my cladding from outside because the wood is moisture resistant, and there is composting toilet. Okay, now let's have a look upstairs. This is the bedroom. I really wanted the ceiling to be high enough so I can sit with enough height above my head. I wanted to make different spaces between the living room and the bedroom. That's why the ceiling is painted differently. I designed a shape different from the living room. They are both triangle shape, but in opposite side. It's helping to create different volumes and gives the impression of space. There is no railing here because I wanted to have a big view to downstairs. So I made a storage with the same thickness than the mattress, which is invisible from upstairs, but I have my board games stored in it. There is an extra storage on the side, and sometimes we put our computer here with my boyfriend to watch a movie before sleeping. I decided to have two windows to have a crossing light, and even if I don't have any window on the ceiling, I can see the stars at night. And of course, there are books here. I've been living here for 15 months and I love it. Of course. The entire tiny house cost me 30,000 euros, which is pretty cheap thanks to all the second-hand materials I found. I've been living here from the beginning of the construction. The first area I managed to finish was my mezzanine, so I could sleep on it even before the roof was finished. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm so happy with it. If I would have one regret is the solar panel. To my opinion, sobriety also means doing with what already exists. So if I had the possibility to be grid connected, I think I wouldn't buy solar system. Some people ask me, how is it to build a house as a woman? I don't think it's quite different from building a house as a man. Maybe the only thing which is a little different is the lack of representation of women in the building universe. We miss models to inspire us. So thank you to all the women before me who gave me the courage to do it. And I'm happy because we are more and more, and it will be so helpful for the future generation. Living in a house which is too small to accumulate a lot of stuff make me save a lot of money. For now, I don't want a full-time job anymore. It took me a long time to understand that my value and my happiness is not associated with my work productivity and my salary. To understand that it's okay to slow down. It's okay not to be efficient all the time. I have less money than before, less possessions, but living in a tiny house gave me so much more time than before to be with my friends and to do what I love and to be with people I love. There are several tiny houses here and yurts, so we are between 3 and 6 people living here. They became great friends and the atmosphere is good. The view is amazing, so I'm not such in a hurry to find somewhere else to settle down. But that's my next step. I want to find somewhere to park my tiny legally, which is quite difficult in France. So for now, my life project is doing what makes me happy, which is read books, gardening, make cabins with wood, meditate, just being with my friends and spend time with people I love. And living in a tiny house is one step to achieve this life goal.
Manon has built such an incredible tiny home for herself. And the house is brilliant. It's beautiful and cleverly designed with loads of features that make it a perfect house for her. But what she's really built for herself is an amazing life, one with time to focus on all of the things that she truly loves. That really is just such a huge accomplishment. And she's done that for herself.